Aristotle, The Man and His Accomplishments by Chris Solomon. Who is Aristotle? Aristotle was one of the most important ancient Greek philosophers who taught us many important lessons on subjects such as science, logic, ethics, poetry, theater, metaphysics, and about life in general. He invented the field of formal logic and he identified the various scientific disciplines and explored their relationship to each other. Aristotle ideology. Aristotle considers geometry and arithmetic the two sciences which we might say can constitute ancient mathematics, as merely the two most important mathematical sciences. His explanations of mathematics always include optics, mathematical astronomy, and harmonics, and more. His accomplishments. One, he invented the logic of the cathedral syllogism. Two, Aristotle was the first person in human history to venture into the classification of different animals. He used traits that are common among certain animals, classify them into similar groups. Related to, he is the founder of zoology. Similarly, Aristotle believed that any kind of change meant something was in motion. In a rather self-contradiction way, at least the initial entrepreneurs found it to be so. He defined the motion of anything as actuality of a potentiality, which is seen in physics. For number 5, Aristotle was the first to write a book that dealt with the specifics of physiology. The Ana, or On the Soul, is this book. He proposes the idea of abstraction that reigns over the body and mind of a human being. The body and the mind exist within the same being and are intertwined in such a way that the mind is one of the many basic functions. Some of Aristotle's propositions. 1. In a given circle, equal chords from equal angles with the circumference of the circle. 2. The angles of the base of an isosceles triangle are equal. 3. The angles about a point are two right angles. 4. If straight lines are parallel and a straight line intersects them, the interior angle is equal to the exterior angle. 5. If two straight lines are parallel and a straight line intersects them, the alternate angles are equal, possibly but not likely prior analytics. Although the theorem is about parallel lines and uses 7. 6. If a parallel line intersects two straight lines, it makes interior or exterior angles equal to right angles on the same side with each, but the lines are parallel, possibly posterior analytics. But it is possible that the weaker theorem that each angle forms by intersecting line is right, rather than their sum equals two right angles. 1. The internal angles of a triangle are equal to right angles. 2. The angle on a semicircle is a right angle. 3. In a right triangle, the squares on the legs are equal to the square on the hypotenuse. 4. To find the mean proportion of two lines. 5. The external angles of a polygon equal 4 right angles. 6. If there are 2 points, equal lines are drawn to meet and form angles. The locus points of the angles form a circle. 7. The locus points formed from taking lines in a given ratio, not 1-to-1, from two given points, constitute a circle. This is some of Aristotle's most well-known quotes. Alright, so the first one is, dignity does not consist in possessing honors, but in the consciousness that we deserve them. Another one of his most known quotes are, the educated differ from the uneducated as much as the living differ from the dead. More of Aristotle with math. Aristotle discusses the definitions of numerous mathematical entities and properties such as a point, line, plane, solid, circle, concurrent, number, even and odd, three, and etc., and uses others in interesting ways such as prime, which Aristotle calls antanairesis, is Euclid's method of reciprocal subtraction. This represents an early proportion theory. Two ratios are the same if they have the same reciprocal subtraction, although there is much disagreement as to when and how it was used in a definition of same ratio. One of Aristotle's favorite examples in this problem of squaring a circle, finding a square equal to a given circle, Aristotle shows no awareness of a solution to the problem, which may well count as evidence that the quadrix was either not yet discovered or was not used for this purpose. After listening to this presentation, think, how has Aristotle's work affected my everyday life? That concludes my presentation. These are the sources if you want to go check out the research and learn more about Aristotle and his accomplishments.